Welcome to another episode of the Crab and Goat Show. I'm Daniel G. Garza, and
I am Richard Wayne Kilgo, the second. Right over. I'm here. You're there.
Welcome, everybody. It is Monday, January 27th, 2025. That's 24. It is 25, folks. Sorry. Yeah. I want to go back. I want to go back to last year. Want to welcome. Let's go back to 24, everybody, and start this all over again. We want to welcome everybody who's watching us on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you don't mind sharing this on your page so that other folks can watch along with you. If you're watching us on either one of our YouTube pages, scroll down and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to let you know every time there's a new show airing. And if you're watching us on Instagram, hello, Instagram friends. We're watching you on our pages. Unfortunately, we can't watch you. We can't watch. Your post can't come up on our StreamYard, but we are keeping track of your comments to make sure that we can see you. Remember, we start off with some. Why did I just forget? We start off with some channel messages from Wayne, followed by the alignment session with me. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready. And then some cards for the last hour, some card readings for the last hour. So make sure that you say me in the comment section. You can start saying me now if you'd like to. We'll keep track of the list. And then when it's your turn, you'll pop up and we'll do the read for you. How's your week, Wayne?
It's been good. I would say I know we had last week off, and it has definitely been a transitionary period of time. We're now feeling that Aquarius energy that's coming in, and I'm thankful for that. I mean, the Capricorn energy, I think, made me take things very, very seriously, around the time of your birthday and beyond. So it is nice to be stepping into the shifted energy of Aquarius, and I'm starting to really feel that draw of looking to the future and grand scheming and planning. And so overall, I'm doing good. And I feel like we've been doing, obviously, looking to the future. It's been January, and I feel like January flew by so quickly. And yet it also feels like it's been January for a very long time. So it's a really interesting vibe. I'm sure it's in the astrology somewhere, but I'm feeling good. I feel like what I've really been looking forward to now is kind of us closing out the astrological year. So getting through Aquarius, getting through Pisces season, and having the new energetic new year, the astrological new year. And when we hit Aries season again, really be the time to move forward, because I still feel like I'm clearing stuff out.
Yeah. Hi, Marissa. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here in the show. Definitely agree that I feel like January has 12 weeks already. I feel like we got into it. It felt like it was going really fast. And then all of a sudden it just stretched. The days just stretched. So much that I had to disconnect a little bit from information. I haven't posted as I normally do on some of my pages, just kind of disconnecting, because everything that came at me, I was like, so for everybody who knows me, I am addicted to TikTok. My attention span of 60 seconds is all I can handle. But I was scrolling past a lot of videos. I'm like, please give me kittens and puppies. I want to see ponies. I want to see food videos. And it seems like everything was surrounded by local news, political news. Here in California, fires, and no disrespect, totally respect. Oh, we lost Wayne there for a second. No disrespect to everything that's going on around us. I just needed a little time to reconnect with myself. There he is.
Sorry, decided to restart the browser, I guess.
Well, fine. If you want me to shut up, just say, just tell me when.
No, I missed it. I wanted to hear it.
So no, yeah, I was just saying that the only like it was just an overload of information. I needed to disconnect from the politics, from the fires, from local news, and no disrespect to anything. Total, my heart goes out to everybody and everybody who's affected in any way. I couldn't handle it anymore. And I went to San Francisco last week from Wednesday through Sunday for a conference. And even in real life, people, when they were finding out I was from Southern California, the first questions they ask is like, how are the fires? And I feel kind of weird because I was like, I haven't watched the news lately. Like, but I hope that makes sense to everybody. Like something you just need to like disconnect from everything.
Yes. I feel like
So,
overwhelmed and overstimulated have been a big theme, especially in the last week or two. Just like so much overwhelm, so many things needing to get done and feeling the pressure of it, you know?
So this week we're very excited because we're actually starting the segment we wanted to start since last year. It's our guest segment. So this week, and let me start by saying for all of our friends out there who are watching us, who practice whatever modality you practice, please get in touch with us if you want to come on the show and just promote what you're doing. We want to be a vehicle to promote all of our friends across the country that practice any modality. Just reach out to us, drop us a message, either Wayne or myself. Let us know that, like, hey, I want to be a guest. And if we know you, then we'll have you on the show. If we don't know you, we'll get to know you and you can come promote yourself. The friend today, I'm very excited because he is technically our very first guest on the show, other than Christian, who came on to talk about it. But y'all know Christian. Stephen and I met through the All of Us board game. For those of you that have known us for a while, I've talked about the All game. Wayne is playing the All game. And for those of you that don't know, I'm going to get the address in a minute. There is a web page dedicated for all of us who are hosts of the All game. And you can go find somebody in your area or somebody that you can connect with. And through that put together is where I met Stephen. So we're going to bring Stephen on the stage. Hi, Stephen.
Hey, hello. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, nice to see you again here, Daniel. And Wayne, nice to meet you too. And
yes.
Astrologically, I also fit in quite nicely because I'm a Scorpio. There's a water sign with a Capricorn moon.
Nice. You bridge the gap between us.
I'm right here.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. And there's so much going on. I totally agree with you. And I had to also turn off the news because sometimes it was truly overwhelming. At the same time, you know, when you pay attention to the stars, the signs, the metaphysics, so many interesting things that you could also, you know, read that the classic person watching TV would not get. For instance, you know, on the inauguration day, the sun was right up there conjunct Pluto. You know, and we've got a plutocrat in charge with all of his plutocrat friends, and you know, like facing that. But astrologically, it was right there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So I'm going to let you two talk a little because both of you do astrology.
Yes.
And I'm very interested in mundane astrology, but I've been also working with, of course, you know, the meat and potatoes dynamics of, you know, helping people with careers, money, relationships.
Yes.
I use the Davison calculation for relationships. Have you used that?
No. Tell me more.
Yeah. Well, when people do composites, for instance, you know, you're taking the two charts and you put them together into one.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like, here's the sun, here's the other sun, what's the midpoint, you know, and that's how a composite is figured out. But the Davison, which, you know, many programs can easily calculate, it takes the midpoint between the dates and the place. Someone born on the West Coast, someone born on the East Coast, it's right there in the middle, and that's the midpoint. So the thing about the Davison approach is that it was an actual time and place. And then from there, you can do transits to it and progressions.
Very interesting. That's really cool. I know I love with astrology too, and as you said, like it's so complex to a degree, and there's so many different ways to utilize it. And I mean, I do say I love astrology. People call me astrologer, how much I talk about it, and I know I do. I've been fascinated with it for years, but I've always kind of called myself an experiential astrologer, in that way of like taking what I've learned and how does it apply? How does it apply to people? When you're looking at like an astrological chart for someone, and then taking it to what does it mean with the stars as they are right now? What energies are being broadcasted? So I've studied to a degree, but I've never taken like a full-on course. If I had to like create my own chart, I wouldn't be able to do it. But I've put such a focus on looking at the chart with others, understanding them from my own perspective, then of course bringing in my intuition as well to kind of bridge any gaps. But I'm interested to know, like, when did you find yourself being interested in astrology, and what kind of steps did you take to further your knowledge of it?
It's one of those things that is a jumping off point to the intuition, metaphysics, symbols, signs, and things like that. So one can really take a look at it from a left brain or a right brain approach.
Mm-hmm.
And I can take a look back on an interesting Uranus transit, went right across my sun in Scorpio. And suddenly, I was interested in tarot cards, metaphysics, and astrology in 1 week. It's like, boom, and it was, of course, it was right on time, because the planet Uranus is very much like the antenna is up. And in the Scorpio, it's like, there are hidden things in the universe, and if we can read them, then we're going to understand ourselves and the world a lot better. So transit happened. I got very interested in astrology and tarot, the same week, and started, stayed with them, ever since.
That is so cool. I love that. And I love to, one of my other best friends, she is a Scorpio herself, and she has multiple Scorpio placements. And I have adapted a lot of her approach when it comes to looking at my life, because she is one that she will kind of document the major occurrences in her life and see when those certain transits come along and what that looks like. And then, she never really, she's seen herself as that astrologer, but as she was helping me determine those things too, I'm like, you really have this down. And it's such in that Scorpio wheelhouse of the occult, of the unseen, of those things. So I love to hear, and I think Scorpio astrologers especially have a special place in my heart because of that. So I can see your perspective in that too, and I love it.
Yeah, very useful. And yet, we can take a look at like the Chinese astrology is coming up, in 2 days with the new moon here in Aquarius, and it's the year of the snake. Mm-hmm. And so even though I don't know that much about, the Chinese philosophy or astrology, I can say, 2025, the year of the snake. I think that's definitely back to that 2025 theme. And I saw a meme the other day that says, "Oh, it's really been a rough year." Hey, it's only January.
Well, and I would think too, just the symbology of the snake too. I like you. I don't look that too much into the Chinese astrology part, but a snake is all about healing, and even though we have big fears around it, I was afraid of snakes for the longest time. But snakes really are representative of holistic healing and healing ourselves in its entirety. So I could see how that is, but then when you apply that to the mundane, which you also spoke to as well too, transformation does not happen without conflict, without, that challenge that comes through too. So I think, again, we kind of talked a little bit about it with, the world at large and how we're kind of feeling overwhelmed by it, but that definitely fits that theme for sure as well too, I would say.
Right. And in ancient Greece, the snakes were revered, and they had this kind of like this magical thing that they would go underground, and they would come back up and bring up the magic or the message. Mm-hmm. Of course, we get our caduceus in the medical thing, with the two snakes intertwined.
Yes. I love it. I'm interested to know too. So when you first got into astrology and you first looked at your chart, I know for me, I felt very validated, especially there. I would say there was 2 or 3 things. And one of them is it said that I can be very, I can be very censored in what I share and not wanting to be pinned down by any one concept or way of thinking. And it totally related with me as like, as a kid, I always wanted to journal. I journal for a day and then I never wanted to write it again. So I'd have all these empty journals. And it like put it right there in what I read with it. So it really made an impact with me and helping me to better understand myself. So I'm interested, when you first looked at your astrological chart, was there anything that popped up that really surprised you or made you feel validated by that modality, by that tool?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick, Wayne, about your chart. And it would be interesting, especially if you had the dates still connected to some of those early journals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Was it a lunar phase, that happens perhaps if it's like a full moon once a month?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you got the inspiration and you wrote it down. And then that phase is over and you stop.
Mm-hmm.
Just an idea. Yeah.
Interesting. I will take that to heart, because I still have that drive to want to journal and to want to, take stock of where I've been, especially the last couple of years have been even more so deeply spiritual since I left corporate. So I'll take that to heart, and I hopefully that'll drive me to do a little bit more of my own self-documentation.
Exactly. Good. And when you find that pattern, then, work with the phases of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
One interesting thing, because I felt, and this might have been my Capricorn moon, that's, like a bit more practical and let me do the things in the right way. And, I got to get enough information, so I approached it that way. And then a few years into it, I was in a class and we were talking about signs of the psychic in your chart, and then we talked about it and we said, oh yeah, I recognize that. And I recognize that when like a client comes to me and, oh yeah, that person is very intuitive, psychic, and then they said, now take a look at your chart. I was looking at it, I said, well, according to this chart, I'm psychic. But I got that through my head, oh, I feel, the psychic. I go, calculation wise, I am psychic.
Yes. It's so funny how that comes through too with, psychic ability in general. I feel like most people, even if they have it shut down to a degree, don't realize that they still utilize it. It's a part of your feeling sense. It's a part of your understanding and of your, your gut to a degree too. So, and I love those discussions too, of looking at the chart for those different things, for the indicator of, psychic ability. Something else that my friend, that's the Scorpio astrologer, that she really wants to do a study on is the 27 celebrity club. So all of those celebrities at 27 years old that passed away, and seeing those common threads in their charts because she's seen the indicators in there. So I think that's also just so cool how even modern day now, we have all of us who are interested in astrology who can use our own lens to kind of interpret and, bring our intuitive information in. But I also love the furthering of those kind of studies of like, look at all of these people here who passed in this particular way, and seeing how that plays into, and, at some point, could we get our technology to a point and our intuition to work together where we could be predicted, doing some predictive astrology around those choice points of potential, passing periods. A little dark, I realize, as I'm going into this, but I also realize your Scorpioness probably enjoys that as well.
Yes, I did. One thing you could pass on to her, because I was always curious about those singers, those performers who died at 27, and 27 is a progressed lunar return.
Interesting.
So have her take a look in that direction.
Okay, I will. Absolutely. I'll pass that along happily.
Yeah. And also, I'm fascinated with those times in mundane astrology, phases in history where really magical things happen. And the first time around with that, particular 27, age 27 thing was in the 1960s. And in the 1960s, we had that relatively rare Uranus-Pluto conjunction. And it was sex and drugs and rock and roll.
Yes.
Right? In the 1960s, and anybody who's not into astrology, they say, wow, the 60s were really special. And the astrologer's saying, did you see the transits?
Yes. That's so funny. So with that, I know we've talked obviously about like the politics or the live of the moment. Is there anything that you've looked into? I know there's been indicators that we saw, right, of certain planetary alignments or transits, that indicated, I believe it was like World War II and those things that have kind of showed up around this time. Is there anything that you like? I don't know if you're much of a predictive astrologer or not, but what do you foresee the next year or two looking like in what you notice is coming along, if you've looked at it at all?
It is my specialty.
I love it. You must be on here for a reason.
Using that intuition, Wayne.
Yes.
I'm actually going to be giving through the Las Vegas NCGR, the astrology group, here on April 29th. In the evening, I'm going to be giving a talk on the Saturn-Neptune conjunction.
Ooh.
It's a very interesting thing. They're going to be very close, going into 0 degrees Aries this year, so the springtime and the summer, and we're going to be seeing. It's going to be really amazing, really. But next year, 2026, it will be an exact conjunction, and they both go into Aries. Again, the 0 degree Aries point, the beginning of the zodiac. It just burst in on the scene. So listen to these really interesting years and this very unique, very powerful alignment. 1917. They came together and we had the Bolshevik Revolution. It was World War I. People were fighting anyway. It just got crazy. And then they get into the Neptunian ideals of how can we have a better world? Saturn works with it and says, and it must be in order. Right? So they come together. And so then these big changes in governmental systems happen. They come together again in 1989. And that was the fall of the Soviet Union and the opening of all those countries behind the Iron Curtain. And they then began to try their own experiment in having a different kind of government. And all those Eastern European countries today are kind of born from that time. Type of energy that we're talking about with these two.
Wow.
Coming up this year and next year, especially next year. And they'll be found in those countries in which the people are not too happy with their governments.
Interesting.
And I'm going to make an educated guess that had Kamala won, we were kind of like limping along, things were okay, but now that Trump is here and the country is more divided, there's going to be, some people who are really just say, oh, keep going, buddy. But there's a bunch of people, so now we've got a tension, what these two planets really work with. And so the United States is going to be one of the countries that is really going to be hit by this, and there's going to be some big changes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so fascinating. Well, I think we're coming to our time, but I love it. I would love for you to come back and us talk more. And I'm going to reach out and get more information from you too, because I'd like to continue the conversation offline. But with that said, anything else you'd like to share with the audience? How to get in contact with you? Share that event date again.
Well, good. Mr. Capricorn put up my website, I think, in my email. So there is Stephen@transpersonal.us, and that's my website too, transpersonal.us.
Awesome.
And there it is, Mr. Capricorn. Very good. And I'm also a hypnotherapist, and I do past life regressions. And so I've got like these two different hats, taking people into these trance journeys, but then also with astrology and working with them that way. And of course, we've got the all game. And that's a fun way in a small group really interactive with very playful. You both know that, and it just really opens up things. Using synchronicities and signs and the roll of the dice, and people have these insights and breakthroughs, and so it's really a pleasure to do those too.
I'll say a little plug for both of you on that too, with the all game, having played it a couple of times. And it's been a while. And actually, I mean, Daniel, if we wanted to get together for an all game sometime soon, and Stephen, I think I would still be down for it. But for the all game, what I took away from it and what I remember too is, getting to do it with our Light Nights group was a lot of the people. So it was a safe space so we could really feel open. And, it was a space I feel like there was definitely tears during both all games that I experienced. And being able to kind of be in a space where you're open, you're vulnerable with the people that you're playing with. All of us were intuitive too, so we had intuitive messages coming through on top of it, so you could feel the energies of our guides, of our higher self coming into. And I just remember each time coming out of the all game, I really felt a shift. I felt a lot of great questions come up for myself to further contemplate. And I remembered my note sheet from the game too. That was something that for both times I played for the following few months, that was something I looked at almost daily, just to kind of really help me put into perspective, this is something that I needed to address and shift and change. So for all of you out there, if you're interested in kind of a board game style game, but it is really super spiritual, thought invoking, it's the all game. It's so spectacular. I highly recommend it. Check out the website. Getting to the opportunity to play it, I think, is something that you wouldn't want to pass up on.
Indeed. Good. Thanks. Yep. It's a great experience.
Yes.
Thanks for the opportunity to chat with you, and nice connecting, and good luck with the Year of the Snake.
You too.
We're definitely going to have you back. I always enjoyed listening to Wayne talk about astrology, but listening to him talk to somebody else about it is really cool to get both angles. So we'll be in touch, and we'll have you back for more episodes, Stephen.
Okay, good. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
Cool. I love it.
Stephen, if you're still listening, I just emailed you the link so you can continue watching the show on our YouTube page if you'd like to. It is really cool listening to you talk about astrology with somebody other than me who doesn't know anything about it, but to talk to somebody that knows about it is really cool to watch you there. So.
And I would say, just hearing him speak and knowing he's the kind of astrologer where I'm I don't like to call myself astrologer because I don't feel as well versed as him, especially in the more technical. I get it to agree. Like I said, that's why I think I like to claim the experiential astrology title, because it's through my experience that I have it. And I think use my intuition a lot to further utilize that as a tool. So when I speak to someone who really has obviously a lot of the knowledge around it, it's fascinating to me, because it's I get to kind of bridge the gap between where I feel like what I know, what I don't know, how I can speak to something, but maybe not be technically right about it. But yeah, no, I pulled up his website too. So I'm going to look deeper into, I've been kind of wanting to do a past life regression.
I know.
Outside of myself. Yes.
We'll be in contact, Stephen.
Yes, absolutely.
If I could turn back time, I'm going to go to Stephen.
Yeah. He'll help you turn back time if you go to Stephen.
All right. Well, moving along. Are you ready for your session?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. So going into the future, and kind of today I kind of sat down and meditated, thought about the current energies that we've been experiencing, messages from my guides. Also, in my client sessions, it really gives me a common theme of things that we're feeling and going through. And I will say, since we didn't have our episode last week, there has been a lot of overwhelm. And I know we just had also, I think it was yesterday or Saturday, we had that planetary alignment, which I thought was interesting. I didn't read too much into it, but what I thought was really cool about it was some of those planets that were coming together to make that alignment, some of those were in retrograde, and it takes some retrograde motion along with direct motion to be able to come into alignment at times, and how those energies helped us shift and change. So what I want to talk about today is very much about being able to utilize a certain tool like astrology. And I know I've probably spoken about this in other episodes as well too, but being able to really utilize astrology to understand what's happening around me and how does this play into the challenges that I'm facing at this time, or the things that I'm feeling blocked or as Daniel calls them, the barriers. What is the barrier to me at this time, or what are my barriers? And you can really look and see why certain stuff is happening the way it is. So with that being said, I know I spoke to it a couple weeks ago, but Mars is currently retrograding. It'll continue to retrograde until February 23rd, and then it will go direct. It's retrograding right now in Cancer. So with Mars energy, I always think of Mars at its basic. It's about being able to take action. It's about being able to react to situations. So it's like having the energy and ability to be able to make things happen when things need to happen, when I need to react. So with this being reversed, with it being in retrograde, it is very much about that energy kind of coming offline to be upgraded. And with it being in Cancer, what this has been telling me as well too is a lot of the emotional stuff that's been coming up for us when we've been wanting to take action, but instead it's like we're kind of stopped from taking that action. Those emotions that are coming up are likely tied to beliefs that are needing to be addressed at this time. So that's what this astrological energy of the Mars retrograde is doing for us right now. It's bringing up our emotional issues tied to family, tied to home, tied to the safety of home. Love relationships can also be a factor that play into this. But so it's really very much about looking to, sorry, I'm so spacey. I'm so connected to spirit. I'm getting like 3 downloads all at once. So this really is the time for us to look at what is emotionally coming up. What are those emotional challenges that the universe is bringing up when I'm trying to take action? And if you can acknowledge those things and then start to put that to the universe and saying, I see this, let's heal this. I want to heal this out. This is the time to do that. So it's not really a time to be able to take action and move forward. It definitely feels like lately as well that we're in a Mercury retrograde, but we're not. I would say Mars is playing into this to a degree. We have a couple other retrogrades that are happening right now that are likely playing into this. But the main message that I want to give to us today, to looking to the future, is this is still a time to plant seeds, to water those seeds, but to know that things don't sprout for a little bit of time. So this is still the time to future vision. And as we're future visioning, we may get some pings of things that still need to be addressed, released, that we've been working through releasing over this past year. So this is really still a time for us to vision the future. Again, release what comes up as we're visioning if we're feeling triggered in certain situations. But knowing that as we step forward towards the end of February and then onwards after April, we're really going to start seeing things happening with Mars going direct, with a couple of other planets going direct. I know Saturn's going to be going direct, I believe, in April, and it's going to be direct in Aries as well, too. So just a lot of still future visioning. And with that, the other thing I wanted to speak to is just the astrology this week. So obviously we're now in Aquarius season. We've stepped out of Capricorn season. So we go from Capricorn being that workhorse, the sign of work, of career, the boss. And now we've stepped into Aquarius, which is the sign of the channeled intuitive to a degree. It's the ascension. It is looking at the ideals of things and bringing those ideals into reality. So I'm really loving this Aquarius energy. I feel like it's giving me a lot more prompting to start to move forward in more of my future visioning of what do I want to create? What impacts do I want to make? In what ways do I want to hold space for others? And so this is also a really good time for all of us to do, again, that future visioning. This just supports what I just spoke to in what seeds are we planting for our future? What impact do we want to make? In what ways do we want to affect the whole that is our, our wholeness of consciousness, our coming together in that way? And then furthering this, Mercury also just transitioned today out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So it's also supporting thinking in this Aquarius way. So we do have a lot of Aquarius energy firing off, which gives us a lot of ideas, a lot of passion, and it kind of allows us to look towards the higher level of things as well too. So I realize I've kind of gone long on this, but with all of this said, know that this is really the perfect time to continue to allow those releases, allow those things as they come up to be released, especially emotionally. That's kind of what Mars is doing with its work right now, and allow yourself to continue to vision the future. So with that said, I did pull cards for the next week, each daily energy. So I wanted to share that with you as well too. So for today, we have the Hermit. So today is a day of kind of self-reflection, of withdrawal. And I would say I kind of was feeling that today with myself as well too. So it's kind of a day to go inside, be introspective. This is a perfect activity as well too, for those of you joining us who are going to be getting readings in a little bit as well too, of helping to validate your own inner truth and the things that you've been contemplating as you've kind of been going within. And then as we step into tomorrow we have the Knight of Cups. So with this, I think it'll be kind of an emotional day. And we know we have the new moon in Aquarius happening on Wednesday, so that might be leading up to it. And anytime we have that new moon, we can kind of have that empty kind of feeling, because that's what that is. It's clearing out for the next manifestation that's happening. And then Wednesday's a day to feel appreciated. I feel like Wednesday, it'll be a day where we can be productive, but I feel like we'll be more likely to feel appreciated by others in the hard work that we do. So I feel like Wednesday's going to have a good vibe. And I would say too, again, with the new moon, it's a good time to contemplate what are you wanting to create and manifest over the next couple of weeks or over the next month, and really sitting down and taking some time to contemplate it, and then going in and letting yourself meditate on it as well too, feeling it like it's already there, like it's already happening. Great way of manifesting with the moon. And then for Thursday, we kind of upgrade from the Knight of Cups on Tuesday to the King of Cups on Thursday. So there'll be some emotional fulfillment, I think, coming through on Thursday, maybe more of that emotional awakening. And then I love this leading into Friday. There's a lot of new creative energy coming in with the Ace of Wands. So more of feeling like, okay, I have more ideas to create, maybe not taking a ton of time to do those things at this time, but contemplating in what ways are you feeling creative. Write that down, plant that seed as a future goal or something that you want to create. Saturday, we have the Page of Pentacles. So I would say it's likely a day where you're going to feel valued. I would say a day of feeling like you have things kind of handled, and maybe good messages coming through from the universe as far as career is concerned. I feel like that'll be impactful for some of you out there that are seeing this message, whether you're seeing this live or you're seeing a re-recording, a replay of our show. So totally applicable for you, I feel like, especially. And then Sunday, we have the King of Swords. So that's interesting. We have the King of Cups earlier in the week on Friday. So I would say Sunday's likely going to be a mental day, and a day where you can really start to hunker down. And I think utilizing that Aquarius energy and that new moon energy that's just kind of flowing through to really contemplate and organize your mental world to a degree, which is, Aquarius season is a great time to do that, as well as you're looking to the future, your future prospects, and what impact you're wanting to make. So with that is my update for this week.
Awesome. Wow, that's a lot between the astrology earlier and this. Folks, go back and watch the replay. Thank you, Wayne. We're going to give her a little break for those ready for the alignment. Wayne always plays along with us. If you've never done the alignment, I need you to get yourself a pen and paper, because we're going to do a little bit of an energetic alignment. We're going to pull cards. Because we don't want to run out of time, we have to 6:30. I always want to end the show at 6, but no. For those of you that already said me on the comment sections, I have you pinned, so please don't go anywhere. For those of you that want a reading as soon as we're done with alignment, you can go ahead and start putting me on the comment section. If you're on Instagram, I will keep an eye on those. But before I jump into Wayne, do you want to read about do you want to give us about your upcoming events before we move forward?
Sure. Yeah, we could totally do that. So our Rehu Tech, the ancient Egyptian energy modality, we have those events happening monthly with our Ascension Tech Institute that was co-founded by myself and my other best friend, Iris. So Rehu Tech is an energy modality, spiritual technology. You guys hear me talk about it often, rooted in ancient Egyptian origins. And it enables an individual to access this pure, intelligent, cosmic, and earth energies. It is so, so powerful. So one of the ways that we like for you to be able to experience that is through our event that we're having this upcoming, not this week, but next week on Tuesday. Next slide, Daniel. We're having our healing circle at the Visions and Dreams bookstore in Costa Mesa. That will be on, again, Tuesday, February 4th from 7:30 until 9 p.m. It's a $20 investment. When you come in, we give you a quick introduction to how Rehu Tech came about, how it's been reawakened for the modern age. And then you'll receive an individual personalized energy healing transmission. And then I do go into trance, and I channel my unseen friend Lalonde and Astra, who lead the group through a guided manifestation utilizing the Rehu Tech energies to superpower one intention for each person that's there. So if you're interested, you can go to my website, rwk2.com, and you'll find the information there for that event. We'd love to see you there. And Daniel does come sometimes. I don't know if he's going to come this time. He hasn't RSVP'd yet, but he is one of the practitioners when he does come that also does the transmissions on some of our participants for the Healing Circle. So really fun, neat experience.
Yeah, because the next one is February 4th, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yes, it's on my calendar for that one.
Yay. I'm excited. I
right.
love the healing circle. It's so great.
We're going to give Wayne a little break and pull your pen and papers out, folks. Let's do a little bit of an alignment. First of all, you want to write down what is your barrier this week? What's your barrier? Is it personal, professional? My example is always insecurities. Insecurities and imposter syndrome is usually my barrier. It's a constant one that I work on a lot. And one of the reasons I love doing the show is because I get to work this with you. So barrier, number one, what is your barrier? And remember, we pull out 7 cards, 7 words. At the end, we create the mantras. If you miss anything, come back and watch the replay. Share this with your friends. Share this with your coworkers. It really is a cool team building exercise. All right, ready? Word number 1. Word number 1 is stability. This is your foundation, your root. How is your stability at the moment affecting your barrier? And this could be mental stability, physical stability, or spiritual stability. All right. Word number 2. Word number 2 is male energy. This is in our balance and our sacral. Remember, everybody has male and female energy. Sometimes the female's ahead, sometimes the male's ahead. Right now, this week, our male energy is pushing forward. It's the one that hunts. It's the one that searches. It's the one that fights. It's that our energy that we have right now, which kind of goes along with what Wayne was talking about in his reading. So for those of you who have not, if you've been a follower and you haven't noticed, the tarot reading from Wayne and the alignment usually mesh up and where our energy is as a collective. So your male energy, how is your male energy? The macho, the fighter, the hunter, how is that affecting your stability, which is affecting the barrier that you wrote down? Word number 3. Talk about mood. This is your power. This is your solar plexus. How are your moods fluctuating? I'll tell you, for me, it has been an emotional couple of days. For no reason, I just want to cry. I'm waiting for the end of the show so I can make dinner and watch something sobby. Okay, I want to give you my guilty pleasure when I'm feeling really sad. Is either the Grey Anatomy singing episode or the Glee episode where Finn dies. I'm gonna put that out there. Those are my favorite crying episodes. So my mood is there right now. Word number 4. Word number 4, which is interesting. This is your heart. This is your intake. Happy. Are you collecting a lot of happy energy right now? Are you storing happy thoughts, happy moods in your heart? The positive side is that, yes, I'm collecting all these happy thoughts and happy memories into my heart for later use. The negative is, am I only paying attention to the things that make me happy and ignoring the things that make me upset in order to not affect my mood so that my male energy doesn't get all bent out of shape and I can hold on to that stability? Word number 5, expression. This is your voice or your throat chakra. How are you expressing yourself right now? I'm going to be honest. I have not been using my big boy words lately. There's been a lot of negativity coming out of me in the last several days, which really, I was trying to balance what I was saying with my feelings, my happy thoughts that were coming into my heart. But I'm going to tell you, it affected my mood. And I was being like not happy macho. I was manic macho. That's the thing. And that was affecting my stability with my coworkers and with myself. Word number 6. Word number 6. This is your third eye. This is your brow chakra, your vision. This is what you're manifesting. This is your vision. This is your future, your goals. Strategy. What is your strategy? Have you been planning a lot? Because we do that, right? We plan a lot of things, but do we actually do them? Are we actually putting the first step out? A plan stays a plan until you take that first step. And it doesn't matter how big the step is. It's just taking a step. But are you strategizing it and expressing it to yourself and to others so that this next plan this next step makes you happy, so it can adjust your mood. You can feed that male energy, which is looking for something to hunt for and bringing you the stability that you're looking for. And then finally, this is your crown chakra. This is your connection to life, God, the universe, and the word is life purpose. Ha ha ha. Life purpose and strategy seem like they should go together. What is your life purpose? Are you doing your life purpose? And I always tell people the difference between going to a job and going to work is feeding your life purpose. Are you doing what you want to do? And let me tell you, I've been questioning that for myself a whole lot. So let's put together the mantras for you guys. You can write this down. I'm going to try to go slow. If not, come back and replay it. So, is finding my stability, giving my male energy the right mood it's looking for. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. To bring happiness into my heart and help me express myself so I can strategize and find my life purpose. The other way around is finding my life purpose will take some strategies, and I need to learn to express myself so I can find my happiness, help adjust my moods to balance my male energy, and find the stability I'm looking for. I'm going to bring rain out. I hope that made sense.
How dare you? You don't know anything about my situation whatsoever.
And let me just say, when I was shuffling, one of the power cards jumped out, and it's self-esteem.
Interesting.
Use that as you can in your alignment. Wayne is always really cool about sharing his. You want to share something about yours, Wayne?
How dare you? Yes, I do want to share it, actually. Sorry. So what I will say, what's interesting is this is the first time in probably 3 of the alignments where I haven't really had my barrier be, my barrier was previously then about feeling overwhelmed, too many things to do, and so I'm like kind of frozen. So it's kind of cool now that we do this on a regular basis, because I realize like that's not really my barrier anymore. I've worked through that. So that's a really cool way too for all of you out there. If you're doing this on a weekly basis, if there's something that you're finding yourself struggling with, like I kind of was, it took a few weeks, it took a few show periods, but as I continue to have my experiences and looking at each of these, it makes me realize like, wow, I've kind of worked through that overwhelmed feel. And now I'm into my next barrier, which is, for me, this is interesting. And it's feeling like I'm worthy of a consistently good day. So a lot of my like Virgo ascendant, I'm always wanting to plan the ideal day, plan my ideal morning, be effective, have the time for fun, have all of these things. And that's a lot of expectations. And I feel like I've gotten better about it. So now my barrier is like, how do I allow myself to have a consistently good day? And knowing that if I have a good day today and then a good day after that, because I think some of my childhood trauma comes up and makes it hard to feel like if it's a good day, then it's like the next day is probably going to be really bad. That's just in my experience the way that it is. So this is kind of working through some of that as well too. So each of the cards totally makes sense with it of like the worthiness, right? Of the stability. The male energy is definitely a part of that for me, I think needs a little bit more healing with that. And just each of these really speaks to it, and like the strategizing too, of course, I'm always strategizing, but it really is part of my life purpose. Like I feel like as I've been contemplating my future and what I want to create, what impact I want to make, a lot of my life purpose is not just centered around that, but it's about being able to enjoy my mundane life as well too. So I feel like this is really what that's telling me I need to do, is be more stable in my masculine energy of taking care of myself, taking care of my mood, making sure that I'm allowing for that happiness to express myself. And I think to a degree it's strategizing, right? For me, knowing that I'm setting aside time to look at my feelings each day. And that's only going to help me contribute towards my life purpose in the long run, which is partially the good every day for myself in the mundane. And then it's also the impact that I'm intending to make with whatever it is that I'm doing or creating or whoever I'm working with. So that
and let me tell
you,
you were on the spot. Like every week, for those of you watching, we hope you come back every week for the show and for the card readings and the alignment. But everything is meant to pull those proverbial onion layers and help you find what you're looking for. But yes, are we ever going to get to the center of this Tootsie Pop? No, we're never going to get there.
Not in this lifetime.
but we hope we can help you along the way. All right, for everybody who signed up for readings, we have 3 people online. Wayne, would you like to start with Marissa, since I know Marissa?
Sure.
Start with her, and then I'll take Checo, and then you'll take Charlie.
Sounds
so for
good.
those of you who are watching and you have not commented me, whatever channel you're watching on, type me in and we will keep it and we will bring you up. So, all right, cool.
Let's do it. All right, Marissa. I know I've read for you before too, and every time I get to tap into your energy, I just feel uplifted. I know there's just this kindness to your energy, and I love it. So I just wanted to share that as I'm pulling the rest of the cards for you. Okay. Ooh, so you've been going through it a little bit. All right. Heart of the spread, heart of your situation. You have the Page of Pentacles reversed. So this would tell me right now, likely career is at focus for you with the Pentacles, and you're waiting for some type of message, along with the astrology message and channel message that I kind of gave today. I think it's important to note that this is a good time for you to allow that, ask the universe to bring in more information about what it is that you're wanting to do. I feel like intuitively in your career, there's some growth. I mean, who doesn't want to grow and expand? But I feel like there's a questioning of where I've been and where am I going? And it almost feels like it's a separate, maybe a separate field, separate something on that. But it feels like you're leaving behind a lot of the work that you've done. So with that being said, I want to assure you that whatever you've been experiencing in your career, and I know for my career, I've had similar things. I've had different jobs as I've gone throughout my career, but it always seemed to serve the next purpose and the next thing, and leading me to the next thing, and leading me to now being, self-employed and being able to make further impacts in the ways that I am. So with you, I'm feeling like this is really a time for you to contemplate, where am I going? Do I want to make the shift? I feel like you're being called to a different area on purpose, and you're not going to be leaving behind anything. The work that you've put in will continue to follow you and help you to be successful there. Along with that, that's kind of interesting. Your theme card is Strength Reverse. So this would also tell me that there's probably some fears or questions around, am I capable for the growth that I'm looking for at this moment in time? And part of that, as I say that, for you, there's this feeling of like, I am ready. And I feel like those around me, maybe direct reports or those that are affecting your boss to a degree, it's like there's this feeling of continually being held back to a degree, even though you are continuing to excel. So I'm going super deep on this, more so than I usually would. I think I'm still in my awakening shift where I'm just going. But of course, still applicable 100%. So with that being said, recent past affecting your present, you have the Tower reverse. So this is where, when I first pulled the card saying, something's happened to you recently, the Tower is a very it's a catastrophic type of card. It breaks us down to our basic frame so that we have to rebuild. But it's because that was no longer serving us. So whatever catastrophic event that's happened to you, and because this is likely related to career, maybe there was some form of layoff, a letdown, a promotion that didn't go through or that you were expecting. So at present, coming from that energy, you have the 7 of Wands. So you're continuing to battle, you're continuing to fight. You have the higher ground at this point, but I think that it's important that you contemplate in what ways are you being further restricted. And I think that this is why you are looking to other fields to potentially work in or from, because there have been kind of these energies of you being held back despite the amount of work and things that you're putting in at that time. With that said, internal influences, you have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So you're feeling like maybe the universe is punishing you. It's not. This is a growth lesson for you. This is something that's going to help you to progress further into the future. And the universe wants you to have better ways of feeling and new ways of feeling about your career and what you're capable of and the way that you can feel about making an impact while continuing to make what you need to make to live, not just to survive, but to thrive as well. So the universe is saying, this is your time. If you're feeling drawn to go somewhere else, this is the time to contemplate that. Again, not taking action potentially until, I would say, the end of February, if possible. But knowing that this is a time to plant seeds about where do you really want to go? What impacts do you want to make? And that's going to lead to your ultimate happiness with what you're looking at and the energies that are surrounding us at this time. So hopefully that is helpful and that resonates.
Cool. How interesting that you brought up. Oh, shit, I just forgot. Kind of a theme we were talking about through your original reading and the alignment, life purpose, bringing happiness in,
Mhm.
the searching, the hunting. So, Marissa, I hope that resonated with you. Thank you for joining us tonight, and for all the work you do, because I know what she does. I know what you do. All right, we're gonna give Wayne a rest. Checo, you are next. Welcome to the show. Thank you for watching. Checo, I have some cool stuff cards come up for you. Number one, in your foundation, this is about looking forward. Anything that happened to you last year, anything that has happened to you in the past. For right now, we got to leave that in the past. Let's try not to carry that baggage around that you've been carrying around. Resentments, hurt, fears, jealousy, envy, all those things. We're going to do our best to just kind of take that coat off so you can keep moving forward. Because in your right now, the rise and shine, there's new things coming for you. There's some new beginnings, some new projects, some new things investing our time into. You won't be able to invest all your energy into the now if you keep carrying yesterday with you. So be very aware of where your power is taking you. And we were talking in power about the mood. Pay attention to your moods. Your belly, your solar plexus is giving you indications of the direction the mood should go in, or the direction you should go in because of your moods. In your tomorrow, it's about taking small steps. Can you see that? There we go. Take bite-sized steps. It's going to take a little time to get where you really want to go, not where you want to be. ¿Sí me entiendes? You understand? Like for everybody, there's somewhere where we want to, like, there's this idea of like, okay, but where do you really see your life going? I don't believe very huge in the like, what's your thing for the next 5 years? But what is the next thing that you're working through? But yes, have your manifestation of the bigger things. We just did our vision board recently. So do a vision board. If you haven't done one in a while, check them. Your spirit, talk to God is upside down. To whomever you pray to, the universe, God, whatever God you do, take a little time. Invite that energy back into your spirit. Do not, and this goes for everybody, do not let go. Even if you're an atheist and you don't believe in anything, what is the one thing that you do have faith in? We all have faith in something. So bring that back into your spirit. Your heart card, it's the Speak with Love card. It's upside down in your heart. That's not good, particularly, and that's partly what's holding us back. So knowing you personally and knowing your energy, I know how optimistic and forward you are. But it's important to let go some of that energy that's popped up because of the result of other people, because of things that have happened, people, places, and things. But if you let go of some of that heaviness in your heart, and some of that, we were talking about happy, we were talking about stability, expression. There you go. We were talking about expression in your voice. If you are not happy, this goes for everybody. If you're not happy, we need to express that. You're not being negative. You're not being, mean. It's just you're being realistic. Right now, in this moment, I don't feel well. And in order to get that energy out of my heart, I need to express it. And what we need to work on is the step away. This is you, the black sheep right there. It's time to be the black sheep. You were always doing something different than everybody. Do not let anybody tear you away from that. Continue to do and be you. And then finally, there are some things that you've been doing. No. There's some things that you've been working on that are not going to work the way that you want them because we are trying to follow the path of other people. You can't do that. So overall, what it's telling me is look forward, because if you speak with love, you're going to shine. You're going to step away from everybody. Talk to your God, talk to the universe, and remember to take little steps, because that's what's going to help you rise again. But stop the negative actions and make sure you focus on the positive ones. And I'm going to bring Wayne in. I hope that helps. Marissa tells you, thank you. Those themes are so interesting. Lots to think about. Good. I hope. And Charlie says, Dan is our queen for tonight. Like it says, I'm always the queen.
The Capricorn loves the crown.
I don't deny it. I do not deny that I'm controlling. So yes.
You're just so good at it. Why wouldn't you want to do it?
That is why I started my own production company, because
Yeah.
I didn't want. Wasn't that obvious from the beginning? All right. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So next is Charlie.
All right, Charlie. So very interesting. I know I've read for you before. Happy to see you again. Happy that you're here. Very interesting cards, and I'm having a little deja vu. I feel like there was a reading that I did recently where this is having strong similar themes, but it wasn't. I don't think it was you. So I'm just gonna share it like it's the first time, but there's definitely a vibe for it for you. And it's interesting. Tonight seems to be part of the theme for all you out there, for pentacles, for career, for work, for each of those things. So heart of your spread, Charlie, right now you have the 10 of Pentacles. I love this for you in that the 10 represents the completion of a cycle, the full embodiment, and being able to receive all that you have been working for in the career perspective, in the needs being met, physical needs being met, in the sense of your value as well too. So you're coming into a very good period, or you're in a good energy for that recognition of that energy. On top of that, what's very interesting, the card that's crossing you is the King of Pentacles. So what this would tell me is that there's this sense of you have furthered your understanding of your value, so to speak. This can be through the career perspective. This may also be just for you in what you're willing to take now, what you're willing to put up with, shall we say, as well too, in other aspects of your life. But in this way, the challenge for you at this time, I think, is to now continue to think about yourself from this abundant perspective. You worked very hard. You're coming to understand and realize the full potential of what you've been putting out. And so with this as a crossing card, to me, there's some doubts about how do I maintain this feeling? How do I maintain this energy and not have it be, oh, there's some abundance that flows in certain ways now, but then it's going to be shut off. We want to, the challenge for you is to know that you've worked hard in this way and that you can continue having this energy going forward. And part of that is being able to, in your theme, the sun, being able to feel joyful and happy and great about the things that you do. Sometimes it's really hard when we're working hard to be joyful about it, or to be happy, or to really appreciate what we've done. So there really is a theme for you right now of being able to enjoy the fruits of your labors and the things that you've worked towards. And to me, this also is, I feel like you've made a decision recently about, I'm going to work to see the positive in any situation that I can. And I think that that is going to serve you moving forward as well too. Recent past affecting your present. You have another 10 card. Interesting. You have the 10 of Cups reversed. So this would lead me to think that there's been some form of emotional understanding, emotional situation that you've come to the end of, or the completion of that cycle. And then moving forward, it has helped you further realize your value with the 10 of Pentacles that we saw earlier. So in your recent past, I would say there's been some type of emotional understanding, emotional lesson, emotional situation that you've gone through that's helped you to progress in moving forward in how you take action as well too. So present influences, now you have the 4 of Pentacles, again, another Pentacle. And this is about foundation. So yet now you're at a spot where not only have you come into understanding the fullness or the completion of the cycle of what you've been able to manifest and bring in, but now you're also learning how to further make that a foundation for the long term, again, in battling this kind of energy of the King of Pentacles. And then moving forward, you have the Death card, which usually this would represent some type of change. It does, but I would say this is a change in your perspective about what you're capable of and about the abundance that's able to come in. So continue to look for the abundance in your life, the ways that you've been working hard, where you feel like you are appreciated and where you really deserve to have more of this abundance flow in. And the universe is going to kind of continue to work with you in, how am I emotionally? How am I showing up? And I think the universe for a period of time is going to be triggering you a little bit around the topic of value and your value, to see how much are you really embodying this new platform of, I am abundant and I am capable and I'm able to always have this king-like energy of abundance and career passion, career movement. And this all leads you towards your outcome, which is the Page of Wands. So this is interesting too. As an outcome card, I would say it's important that you're continuing to realize, in what ways in this hard work that you've done, where were you feeling most excited, inspired, happy to be doing that work? And I think you're going to find that's part of that key that's led you to this further abundance. So recognizing that the passion and the creativity has played a huge part, and you coming into this realization of this abundance that you are really, stepping into, embodying, and I think going to be able to carry forward moving forward. So I'll leave you with that.
Sweet. And Checo said, thank you. It was super interesting. A lot to meditate on. I feel like we're giving people a lot to meditate on today. Everybody's like, how does
Aquarius. It's Aquarius energy.
Do not doubt our superpowers.
That's right. We are powerful.
We have one more, Bobby, and we'll bring you up in just a second. So just be ready. For everybody else watching, if you, we still have 30 minutes to go, 25 minutes to go. If you are interested in getting a card reading from us, all you got to do is type me in whatever channel you're watching us. For those of you that received a reading, for those of you that can, our Venmo is screening down at the bottom. It's the Card Devo. That's my account, but I'll make sure to share. I'll make sure to share with Wayne. So if you're able and can donate, any donations are accepted. Thank you for your participation. If you're new to the show and I saw some people joining, please make sure to go watch and replay. Watch the replay. We have card readings for everybody at the beginning of the show. We have our interview with Steven. We have the alignment, and then we have the card readings. Lots went on today in the show. Lots going on.
Yes.
What's going on? We're busy today. All right, so I'll take Bobby.
Beautiful.
Give me a rest. All right, Bobby. I don't know. I just channeled Whitney Houston all of a sudden with that one. So, Bobby, here it is for you. Number one, in your foundation, in your past, there's God, and God could be the universe. God can be whoever you pray to. Whatever you connect to. But there has been a presence in your spirit, in your heart, all along. It's always been there. But that came on right now to give you the Rise and Shine card came up again. The spirit and the energy in your heart, in your spirit, is giving you the opportunity to redo some things, to try again, to see if this time it's really for you, to follow your life passion. We were looking at life passion in the alignment cards. If this is really what you want to do, here is your chance to do it. Don't give it up this time, because in your tomorrow, it's the blow off some steam, and it's upside down. So it's telling me that we are being way too serious about what's going on. It is not going to be, when you look back at this moment, it is not as stressful, as hard as you think it is. We're just making it harder because it's all up in our head. But if you trust the messages, and usually God in the universe sends us the messages right here in the crown chakra, and then it decides where to go. But I feel like it's going to go to your heart, and it's giving you the messages that you need to get to where you want to go. So listen to the messages. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And you're like, well, what messages are you talking about? I don't know if you talk like that, but that's the voice I'm giving you. So the messages are usually, and when Wayne comes back on, we'll talk about this. But messages are numbers. Messages are songs, TV shows, words, things that just pop up, and you're like, okay, it is way too weird that is popping up this much, because that's the message in your spirit. Be patient. It's upside down. Are we not being patient? And this is why things don't work out, because the universe is telling you, hey, like when you go to an amusement park, maybe Disney, and it says it is 30 minutes from this point, but man, are we anxious and we want to skip that line. It is 30 minutes from this point, Bobby. So hold on. It'll get there. It's going to get there, because this is in your heart. Your heart is about sharing your gifts. So the universe is giving you all the message for you to be able to share your gifts. But some of the things that you need to learn, you're going to have to learn. I hope that makes sense. We can't just know everything all of a sudden, because in what we need to work on is dropping it. There's some things you just got to let go of. Kind of like with Checo. There are just some things we got to stop doing. And in order for you to be able to move forward, you got to let go of these things. Drop it. Because for you, the overall energy is about turn back. Look back at where you came from. Look back at what you've been doing. In order, what they say is like, if we forget our history, we're bound to repeat it. So is that how it says? Something like that. So for you, Bobby, it's talk to God, talk to the universe. Let them give you the message so they can tell you about your gifts, and you can start sharing them, whatever your gift is. But you got to let go. There's some things you got to drop and just be patient. Let go of that stress, and anxiety. That get a Reiki session, get a massage, get a haircut, whatever it is that's going to allow you to stop, because there are some new things coming. But before you move forward, you got to look back and see what you've done so that you don't repeat the same things over. I'll bring Wayne out. But I hope that made sense. Let's see. Charlie said, thank you. You're welcome. We have one more. Laura, we'll get to you, Laura, in just a second. But what was I going to chat with you about? Messages. Don't we not like what is it? We don't know what we don't know. And like when you asked Stephen earlier, like, how did you know, or when did you know that like your gift was there? And like, you don't, it takes that moment where you're like, oh, I know how to do this. Right. And then it's followed by doubt, but then it's also followed. Oh, and by the way, Laura, with you at the end? Yes. But then we become impatient because we're like, now that I know how to do this, I want to be awesome at it. And do you remember our first light nights when we were first all learning?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, like almost a little bit of chaos, right? In that understanding of what are you stepping into, but then like really once you get confident about it, and like it's that self-validation too, right? Which I think is what is really challenging about anything when you're developing your intuition or your spirituality, is I think for most people there's that constant questioning of, is this real? Is this happening? Is this? And so you learn through a process over time, especially if you, I think it's smart to bounce yourself off of other people, right? So it's not just looking for that validation off yourself, but validating off of other people. And that's when that magic starts to happen, where it starts to go from the, let me have you validate me, to the, holy crap, I can validate me because XYZ, every time I read XYZ, this is the intention I set. And, you know, the feedback then becomes not irrelevant, but more unnecessary because you've stepped into your understanding of that power.
And I do wholeheartedly believe that if you ask your guardian angel, your spirit guide, God, the universe, to be like, hey, I want to know that I'm on the right path. Can you send me a sign? Can you send me a signal? That they will do it. It's not, for those, it's not always a burning bush out in the middle of the field, but numbers. For me, it's usually numbers, or for those of you, my spirit guide's name is Fiona, and we have been working together for 12 years now. So she is really good that when she's like, I need to get your attention, that the name will come up in just the most random places. And I'll be walking, cool. I'll be walking down the street or to a shopping center or somewhere, and I'll hear a mom call her little girl and be like, Fiona, get over here. And I'm like, okay, get out of your head. Get out of your head. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. So for Bobby, I don't know if that makes sense. Get out of your head, and then you'll hear the messages. Does that make sense?
Boom. Truth dropped.
Done. And with that, I'll go hide for a second.
All right, Laura. So the Pentacle craze continues today. So Laura, heart of your situation right now, you have the Four of Pentacles. So this would tell me that you're kind of operating from a current space of stabilized in your career, stabilized in understanding how to take care of your mundane daily needs, and stabilized in a degree of recognizing your own value as well too. It's interesting. Intuitively, I mean, this card typically means that, but intuitively, I feel like you really have your structure now. And I feel like you really have your structure now after a long period of trying different ways of, like, to me, it's almost like I see you building a structure of like, it's a triangle, but that doesn't quite fit for you. Oh, it's a circle, it's a this, it's a that. And you finally have the four walls, the four corners, the support, the strength to be able to start moving forward more consistently. The card that's crossing you, you have the Eight of Swords. So with the Eight of Swords is interesting. It's a card of self-restriction of sorts. So it's the sense of this person is tied up, they're blindfolded, and each of the swords here can represent an idea or belief, typically ones that are likely holding you back from being able to take movement. So I would say this restructuring that I see in you in this figurative way, to me, lends towards the more that you focused on freeing yourself, and especially from those beliefs that are not serving you. And it's hard for everyone out there, when we have these unconscious beliefs, we know that they're there, we can speak to them to a degree or maybe in great detail, but we don't know how to do a lot with them. So what we want to do, or what we need to do, is we need to acknowledge them, and we need to acknowledge there's something here. We can't address the problem, we can't clear the problem, we can't transmute the problem if we don't know what the problem is. So for you, I feel like you've come to understand the ways that you've been holding yourself back to a degree. And so in this, it's helping you to further understand your emotional motives and moving forward into the world, and how you connect with other people as well too, because in the recent past, you've been kind of shut off and closed off to other people, and to really letting them into your heart. You may have, to a degree, let them into the persona that you've created, but you haven't always been fully like, here's my heart, here's who I am, here's what it looks like. And so at this time, you are, I would say, feel like you're going through a little bit of a struggle. You have the Five of Pentacles at current influences. And this is the card I call left out in the cold, or feeling left out in the cold. And so you may be feeling like you are withdrawn from yourself. You may feel like you're withdrawn from other people, and feeling like you don't necessarily have the worth or value you've been looking for. And it's interesting, because everything that I spoke to about where you're currently at, the heart of your situation, you've kind of upgraded your ability to see your value, and now it's kind of being challenged. But what I love for you is your future influences card. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So there is this kind of mastery that's coming in the near future around this. So everything that you did to get yourself to what I'm calling the stability in yourself with the Four of Pentacles, continue that work, continue that self-reflection, because that's what's getting you to this Queen of Pentacles energy. You are worthy, you are strong, you are capable. And it's really with the Queen, it's about the feminine expression of that energy, which is all about thinking about it, feeling it out, not necessarily having to take physical action, but really getting it figured out. What do you want it to be? How do you want it to be? And then with that said, internal influences, you have the Knight of Wands. So this is interesting. You're definitely going to be being affected by the astrology energies that I spoke to earlier. And so part of this is recognizing there's a party that really wants to rush forward and move forward, but it's still not really the time. So again, for you, making sure that you're taking time to vision the future, planting those seeds for the future, and knowing that in about a month's time, that'll be the time to really start taking action. So if you're feeling that energy of feeling like, oh, I'm so held back, I'm so not able to move forward, it's the astrology of the moment, and it's actually serving you in the long run with clearing out any of those other emotional beliefs that are no longer serving you. What the universe is giving you, you have the Six of Cups reversed. So there's some nostalgia. And again, this kind of lends towards that clearing out of old beliefs, especially emotional beliefs that maybe aren't serving you. And knowing that you have a community of support around you is very important. So with that said, your outcome card, you have the Four of Cups. I call this card the card of meh, or feeling kind of indifferent. So what I would say is, in those times where you were feeling indifferent previously, that's likely what locked you down in your expressions and being able to build that foundation for yourself. So if it's not really pleasing you, if it's something that's making you feel indifferent, then it's okay. Acknowledge that it makes you feel indifferent, and then bring in something that's going to make you feel inspired, or that make you going to feel like you can accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. But know that there are times where we kind of have to slow down and stop almost entirely, so that we can really understand where have we come from and where are we going. And that song pops in my head, the annoying one, of course, but it's that sense of, always seeing where you're at, because the present moment is really all there is, but we still, vision the future. We still look to the past in that way too. So so I'll leave you with that.
Cool. And Laura says, beautiful. Resonates so much. Well, thank you.
Love it.
You're beautiful. Well, we're down to the last 10 minutes. You want to share your last announcement?
Yes, yeah. And this is just as normal. If you are interested in working with me, or you'd like to utilize any of my services, I do offer intuitive tarot readings. I do that both in person, Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays at Awakenings in Laguna Hills. I also am able to offer that online or over the phone. I also have my Rehu Tech Energy Healing, Space Clearing. This is a really good time for space clearing as well, too. Anyone who's looking to clear out that energy of the past year and really set some intentions for moving forward. I know I call it a space clearing, but really what we do is we go in and we clear the space entirely, and then we energize it and set intentions for each specific room. So you can really get specific about that and helping that energy to support your space moving forward. So this is a great time to hire me for that. Written dream interpretations, astrology birth chart interpretations, another way to dive deeply into yourself. I'm starting my chakra reset sound baths in the next couple of weeks. So you guys will see more of those dates coming forward. And then I still have to finish my meditative quest through the Zodiac to get that finally completed. But most of the Zodiac signs are there and available for purchase. And those are also Rehu Tech Energy infused meditations. So if you're interested in working with me, I am here and I am ready.
Sweet. And then for those of you interested in working with me, I do card readings, Reiki sessions, spiritual coaching, live coaching. These can be groups, workshops, or corporate events. And if you're interested in the spiritual coaching, that's where the alignment come in. So if you enjoyed the alignment session tonight, we have those in packages. We have a one-time session. We have a 3 very condensed day session, and we have a 8-day session. So depending on your financial or your time commitment, we have different. Now I can't talk. Blah, 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 blah. You can check me out at thealignment.net or go to littlemexicanproductions.com. Either one of those, there it is. Either one of those work. Why can't I speak anymore? I'm gone.
The brain is shutting down.
It is done. And remember, Mondays is Crap and Goat Show. We start at 5 o'clock for 90 minutes. So come and join us. On Wednesdays, it's the Christian and Daniel shows at 6 p.m. with my host, co-host Christian. And then on Saturdays, check the channels to make sure that we have a show. It's put together live streams. If I'm not working, I'm putting on a show. And we have some pretty good shows coming up the rest of the month. Not this weekend because I'm working a boat show. I'm going to be out in Long Beach working. So if you're at the boat show on Long Beach for some reason, stop by and say hi. I might have my hearts with me and give you a heart. So just stop by and say hi.
What do they do at the boat show? Just show the boats?
Just show the boats.
Like I'm interested. Is it like in the water that you see the boats? I really am interested. I feel like I'm saying it and it sounds sarcastic. Who goes to a boat show? I've never been to a boat show before. I've been to a car show.
So
I've been to a Christmas boat show.
There are spaces where they do have the big shows inside the big arena.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been to the Long Beach Convention Center, there's a whole wing that is just boats. Just you walk around.
That's cool.
See the boats. There's other areas where they have like fishing gears and fishing rods. There's a big selection of clothes. I did not know that there was such a need for specific
Boat
fishing gear. Like I like the t-shirts. For those of you who know me, I love t-shirts. So I did get a shark t-shirt last year, and it was really cool. So those are there. What else? I'm going to be presenting with a car company. So I'll be talking about. I'm the MC for the event, so you can hear my voice through it. We have a lot of games, and you can win stuff. You can win swag. So come on.
That's cool.
That's
check fun. It out.
Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see the post on Thursday morning. So I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 4 days of boat shows. Just if you can't get enough of a boat on one day.
Boat.
Go motorboating all weekend.
Yes. Yes. So I want to share with you, and I don't think I mean Iris will laugh about this as well too. So Iris and I, and actually I'm glad I could kind of talk about this for a minute as well too. I think I told you we've been taking an NLP certification course through Anita Burns, who also was one of the co-originators of Rehu Tech itself. But NLP is, and we've talked about this, NLP, it's oftentimes corporate will use it in sales and sales tactics in each of those ways. But Iris and I have been taking an NLP for Spiritual Practitioners course, which is going to open up more doors for me. And actually, I've been utilizing it a lot in my client sessions, NLP practices, but I'm going to start offering soon NLP sessions where it's literally just an NLP session where we go in with the intention of working on a few different things. And it's all around changing beliefs, changing habits, and addressing any of those things that are kind of in between that space. But anyways, this is somewhat unrelated to it. So Iris and I were having breakfast before we had NLP, and we both ordered corned beef hash and eggs. She ordered her eggs over medium. I ordered mine over easy. And the lady came out to deliver them, and it was so perfect. She comes out and she has the plate, and she says, corned beef hash, eggs over medium. And so Iris is like raises her hand, she sets it down, and it was silent. She didn't say the next part. So I just look at her and I said, I'm the easy one. And she went from just like kind of like, I'm here to give you your food, to she started laughing, and oh my God, it was my joke of the day. I kept replaying it in my head but it was so perfect. You would have been there. I mean, it would have been all the more funny. But it's that type of energy, right?
I'm just laughing at that now. It's gonna live in my head for a little while.
I love it.
What I'm gonna say for everybody, we just have 5 minutes. Bobby, we want to thank you, Bobby, for your donation. We appreciate it. I'm make sure to share that with Wayne. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody who's sent us hearts on Instagram. Although remember, for everybody, just like Bobby, although we can't it doesn't come up on Instagram, we can see you and we will read for you. So we will see you folks next Monday.
We did get a comment from Bobby. There we go.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby, I
appreciate it. You're just in a special place today.
I had therapy and a really good session. I was in San Francisco for 5 days, so I'm glad to be back home. I like San Francisco, but I love being home. And then it's raining. It was raining. I don't know if it's not raining right now, but it rained
crazy yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. So I missed the rains from Houston. And yesterday was raining and it was chilly, and I just gotten home from a long day flying. So it was nice to be I was in my pajamas by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, folks. That's all I'm gonna say. I was in my pajamas by 4 o'clock. I was under a blanket. I don't remember what I was watching because I fell asleep and I kept waking up and just kind of like going back. So anyway, with that, anything else you want to say before we go?
You know what? If you're open to it, since we have just a few minutes left, I don't know if I brought it up, but I would like to do just a quick transmission that everyone that's watching will be able to impact it and be felt by. So the thing for everyone to know is, as I do this is utilizing the Rehu Tech energy modality. It's simply through my intention and being able to send this energy that even if you rewatch the recording of it on YouTube, on Daniel's page or mine, the energy will come through in it. So basically with this, I'm just going to kind of set an intention for grounding, balancing whatever's needed for each person's highest good that's watching this. And so kind of just sit back. If you're watching this, close your eyes for a moment, let yourself get into that kind of receptive state. If you'd like, you can kind of repeat the mantra in your head, I'm open to receive. And then I'm just going to take just a minute or so to do a transmission on each of you that are out there. So notice anything that comes up physically, emotionally. This is a very tangible energy too. You're likely to feel it in that way. So just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy this energy healing transmission. And so it is. Woo. Fun part for me is whenever I send energy, I get to get the energy vibe from it too. How was that for you, Daniel? Anything come up? How'd you feel?
I let out a huge yawn.
Release. I love it.
Which I always think about, because Christian reminds me of this when we see dogs. When dogs shake and yawn, and it's just the way they release energy.
Yep.
And I'm from the year of the dog, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But yawns usually for me are like when I'm stressed, I get sleepy, and yawn, and so yeah. But for those of you, like, we have 1 minute. For those of you, I'm always like, not as much now, but when we first started knowing each other, Wayne would work his energy on me, and it would give me diarrhea.
I would clear you right out. I felt bad, but I mean, it was working.
My energy and everything I ate with it was gone.
You needed some restructuring, mister.
So I'm always like, I enjoy his energies, but I'm like, what's it going to do now?
You're like, can we keep it solid, please? Let's not make Tommy have to work extra hard.
And with that, folks, thank you so much for watching us this week. We really appreciate it. For everybody watching us on Facebook and LinkedIn, please share this with people you know so they can watch us next time. Taco Bell does that for you. Compadre, I just saw you, but we're about to leave. I will owe you a reading for next time. We're glad you got it, Alicia.
I love it. She's
for everybody
also
watching. Is she okay? Well,
she's a level 1 practitioner. Yep.
Excellent. Just remember that we're always looking for people to come on the show and talk about their modalities and practice. If you're watching us on LinkedIn and Facebook, share this with people you know. If you're watching on YouTube, scroll down, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. For those of you on Instagram, we'll see you also next week with even more show. For everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. And where is my things? There they are.
Goodbye.
Okay. Bye.